Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be sharing with you a really quick way to refresh your hair if you've perhaps went to the gym in the morning or were running a bunch of errands, or you're just on day 2, 3 of hair and you just don't have time to wash it but you want to look put together. So this is something I do pretty much on like my day 2 and day 3 of hair when I kind of like want to make it look more put together but I don't want to spend the time washing my hair. So the first thing you're going to need is you're going to need some dry shampoo. And I use this one, and I use it in the fresh scent because I find that the fresh scent really does help like make your hair smell really good, like you just washed it. So that is a great one. You're also going to need some hairspray, and I use the Tresemme Extra Firm Control. I find that this one, it allows me to hold the curl without causing like that crunchy, nasty feeling. And if you want to brush it out for day 3 and not have to do your hair again, it's not all gross and chunky. And then I also use a little thin comb like this, mainly because I tweeze up a little bit towards my roots just to help give my hair some volume because it naturally lays very flat. And then for curling, I use my Remington one, and I've been using this for a long time, and I always set it to, that's a little too low. I set it to 20 on the heat setting. And I try not to go all the way up to the hottest setting, but if your hair does not hold curl, you can go up to a higher setting. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so first you're going to want to take the dry shampoo and spray it in your hair. The dry shampoo is going to really help absorb any of the oil in your hair, especially if you're on day 2. I make sure I always massage it in after I spray it. This just really helps absorb any excess oil. And then go in with your brush. You're going to want to make sure you brush out any tangles to make sure your hair is nice and smooth and so that there's no tangles within the curl. Now from here, you're going to want to find your part. I prefer to part my hair slightly off to the side. And then I'm going to section it off. So I'm going to take the top part of my hair, separate it from the bottom, and this is going to be the layers of how we're going to curl the hair. I just put the top part in a bun and clip it up just so it stays out of my way while I'm curling. And then separate your hair into 2 sections on the bottom. And then starting on one side, take a section of hair and curl it away from your face. If you have longer hair, of course, this is going to be a little bit more of a curl. But for short hair like this, I kind of just do big sections just to kind of get some movement in the bottom, and then I go back through after. I always make sure though that I curl away from the face, just because I find that that helps the curl separate the hair from your face so it's not falling into your face for the rest of the day. I normally try to hold the curl for at least 30 seconds. And then after I'm holding the curl, I will place the curl in my hand to kind of cradle it for a second before letting it fall all the way down. And that just helps hold the curl a little bit. And now as I get closer to the front of my face, I start to grab smaller sections and focus the curling iron closer to the bottom of the barrel where it's a little bit tinier. And this helps make tighter curls as well, so it gives a little bit more movement around the face. You'll also notice at the top of the curling iron, I let the hair curl smooth, and then I almost twist it at the bottom so that it creates more of a ringlet closer to the bottom. Now I'm going to start on the next side, and I'm going to do the same thing, taking bigger sections, curling away from the face. And now it doesn't really matter what sections you grab. The whole point is that it's supposed to look like a messy wave. So any sections that you grab are totally fine. You could always go back through afterwards and fix any sections that you feel like aren't curled enough. If you have hair that's really stubborn and doesn't hold curl, Another option is to spray hairspray as you go into your curls. So you would grab a section of hair, spray the hairspray now, and then go in with a curling iron like I'm doing. And that would just help if you have really stubborn hair that doesn't like to hold curl. Okay, and now that I'm getting closer to the front of the face, I'm taking smaller sections and focusing on the top tip of the curling iron to make a little bit of a tighter curl. And now you can notice on this barrel how it is a little bit tighter on the top section, but I always leave out the tip of the hair so that I'm not causing any damage to the very ends. Now I'm just going to go into the other side, fix any sections where I feel like the hair isn't holding the curl enough, and I'll do this normally just to kind of help add some more movement to the bottom of the hair before I start on the top section. Okay, now you're going to want to take down the top part of your hair and make sure you kind of find the part of where you're going to want your hair to be. And you're going to also separate this into two sections, pull the hair to the front so that only the curled pieces are in the back. And then you're going to go around your hair starting in the back, doing the same thing, grabbing sections and then just curling the hair around. And you're going to keep doing this all the way around your hair on both sides, just like we did on the bottom, until all your hair is completely curled. I do the same thing I do on the top, so I grab bigger sections towards the back end, and then I grab smaller sections towards the front to make the more tighter curls closer around the face. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue curling my hair all the way around, but I am going to go ahead and jump ahead so that you guys can see the finished product of once all my hair is curled all the way around. So this is what it should look like after you curled it all the way, but now this is my extra tip that I normally do. I go in with my curling iron again and I grab super small thin sections on the top of my head and I focus the curls on the bottom of the curling iron, and this is really going to help give added movement and volume to the top of the curls. Notice how I'm leaving out the second 3/4 of the hair, and this is just because I'm trying to focus just getting the curls really tight up in the top of the crown of the head so that it creates more movement on top of the curls. This just creates a little bit more of a messy, beachy curl. If you want your hair to look a little bit more uniform, you can skip this step. I just find that it gives it a lot of added movement and texture, and I really think it helps break up the curls. And now that with this one, you can make sure you curl all the curls away if you want to kind of keep that same momentum going. It can also look cool if you curl some of the pieces towards, because it really does help break away from the other curls. Now you go in with some hairspray and make sure you hold the curls. So I will spray the hairspray and then scrunch the curls up, and this just helps give it some volume in the bottom of the hair. And I'll do this all the way around. And then if you have any pieces that kind of you feel like haven't curled all the way, go back in with that curling iron and just go ahead and finish them off. And now I'm going to start separating out the curls with my fingers, and do this very gently because you don't want to make the hair fall flat. And it looks like we forgot a piece, so we'll just go in really quick while the curling iron's hot. And then just continue separating out the curls until you feel like they have enough movement and are separated and they're not looking so uniform. Now I go in with my little comb and I separate out the top sections closest to the front of my face, and I tease just a little bit to give it some added volume towards the bangs. And this just really helps, especially with my flat hair, to help separate out the curls and give it a little bit more volume towards the front of my face. And I normally only do 4 sections, just closest to the front of my face to help separate it out. And then this is your finished product. Your hair should have the nice curls, a lot of movement. It shouldn't be stiff if you use the same hairspray. And that's it. And so that's really all it is to it. It's a super simple hairstyle. It gives you that like nice messy waves that kind of look like they could be on second day, but just freshens up your hair, makes it look really put together so that you can go about your day. I do have one little crazy one going on right there. But yeah, so this is a super quick, easy hairstyle to just freshen up your hair, make it look like you're put together and ready to go for the day. So I hope you like this tutorial. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the little bell if you want to be notified when I post new videos, and stay tuned for more videos.